You start off this time.
I started off last time.
No.
Facts J. Majestic Behavior.
We are back.
No. What's your roles in this production this time?
Same as usual, filming, directing, putting the puzzle together. This project that we're working on also is called I'm Sorry, Son. Like I said before in one of our videos, that they came to us with the idea. And the idea was so golden where we couldn't let that slide. We had to actually grab that and harvest it. And
it was basically something out the box that it was more or less like we was like, yeah. And then we seen some good shit that we seen that it was going to be come out of it. So we was like, yeah, let's go ahead and try to tackle this mountain film.
What does this production bring as a whole, you would say?
That's a good one. As a whole,
more so less, it's going to bring. It's going to make you think.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make you think.
It's going to bring something like an awareness. It's one of those things where it's like...
It's an eye-opener. Definitely an eye-opener.
It's a topic. It's a conversation that will be had and we can't run from it. It's something that's surprising. You know, just the title alone, I'm Sorry, Son.
Yeah, that just strikes you off the top, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
For sure. And this is a documentary.
Yeah, that's a documentary.
So what are some, I guess, new things you're bringing to the stage now from going from previously a series to now a documentary format? What's some new things you're bringing along with it?
Well, with this one, instead of something being scripted, this is real time.
Right.
So with issues that we have, we're actually getting real feelings, real situations, real stories.
It's like it's showing, like you say, real time, real life event going on right there. People telling their story. Some of them telling their story for the first time. So it's like you say, it's an eye opener. I'm telling you, a lot of people gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for your, like, when you first got the idea, you mentioned that sort of took you back a little bit. You had to jump on it. It was an idea that automatically spoke to you. Right. What are some of your inspirations that came to mind when you heard the original idea? What are some things that you're bringing into this as directors?
Different. The challenge of different.
Yeah.
Because we always have ideas where we want to go down and tackle any and everything that comes with the job that we have. And this one is a large piece of it because it's a documentary. Like I said, real time situation where it's like, it's not scripted. We didn't write this. We are going to put our majestic magic on it. And you know what I mean? Like, this more so less is like, it's being studied.
Right, exactly.
And it's being put together very well right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so, and you don't have to spoil anything, because I always like feel like I'm on the brink of spoilers when I'm talking to you about this. But what are some expectations in terms of like characters we might meet? I'm not literal characters, but real life characters that we might meet. What are some expectations for the fans that they can see, and look forward to for I'm Sorry, Son?
With this documentary, we want to get a conversation started in the homes. With this, it's not really a spoiler. I'm Sorry, Son is a documentary based on mothers taking accountability on society and what they got to do with the sons. So with that alone, you have millions of questions. We don't know what direction we're gonna come.
But
for sure,
you definitely gonna meet those interesting people.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna meet some. You're gonna meet some interesting people that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
In many different ways. They're gonna have you thinking. Believe me.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Like a lot of the conversations, we were shocked by it. Like
Like you say, it's an eye opener, man. So,
Really, it's really an eye opener.
I don't know. It's a thinker.
Trust me, it made me and him think. Seriously, like,
It tells you something for
yeah.
sure. For sure. And would you give like an age range? Like, who do you think benefits the most out of this? Would you say it's everybody
Everybody,
in the
bro.
family?
Everybody, bro. Everybody.
Yeah, even the grandmothers.
Yeah. Showing up, bro.
Showing up, like, starting from there and just going down. You know, the children will be able to see it to understand. But everyone that's older will see it to know because they've been there.
Yeah, exactly. And they see that somebody else been there too.
Yeah. And to actually hear it out loud is different from speaking it with inside of self. That's the difference.
Definitely stories never told before, like
Never.
I say.
They've heard them,
Yeah,
but
I don't even think this never been done before. Like we've been. I would believe me when it was coming up. We was researching it. Man.
there's
Boy,
nothing.
like,
Nothing on this direction of what we doing with this documentary at all. You know, so most definitely.
Okay. And you know, I always gotta ask, any final words for the fans looking forward to this? Any final words to them that are sort of waiting on the edge of their seat after City 5, waiting for this new production from Majestic Behavior? What can you say to them? Some last words.
Oh man, I can tell you, stay tuned.
Stay majestic.
Man.
Look, we got films, we got series, we got more movies, we got more series, we got more everything coming. Just stay tuned.
Definitely keep your eyes open for this one.
My first name is Danina, and Danina Lee. And my role in I'm Sorry Son, I'm the one that I birthed I'm Sorry Son. And yeah.
Okay. I would ask you sort of what are some of your inspirations you're bringing to this, and tell us a little bit about the story behind sort of your role in this.
So me being a single mom of 3 boys, raising them alone, and I did have a village, but raising them completely alone, made me realize that it's a lot of things that I have done to my sons due to my trauma. So once I saw that it was an issue between me and my sons, I said maybe it's other women as well. So I reached out to my partner and I told her, and I said, hey, do you think, you may be on the Me Too, as well? Like, do you feel like you did everything you could for your son? And to hear, a lot of women cuss me out. Like, a lot of women I brought to first fussed me out, like, what? I'm a good mom. But when I took it to my partner, she was like, me too. And then once she opened up, a lot of other women. So what inspired me to do it was I just want other women to know me too. So when I reached out to Majestic, and they came on board to help birth the project as well.
Sure. And I guess I think a big question that came to mind was, in your mind, how do you define motherhood? And you can answer that from a personal perspective or just a general perspective, it's up to you. But how would you define motherhood?
I don't even think, of course the definition is not in the encyclopedia, the dictionary. But to me, that motherhood is love. It's love. It's no matter what the situation is, like being a mother is what inspires you to keep going. What inspires you to be able to say, being a mother is to be able to say, I'm sorry. That's just period. Being a mother, and I'm not saying that it's no, right or wrong way, but to acknowledge maybe me too, and I'm sorry, that's what being a mother is to me.
For sure. I think another question I would have is, for a mother who's watching this production who would hear your story, what are some takeaways you think this production could give a mother at all ages, young, older? What are some things they can bring from this production if they're watching?
My goal is for, like Jay said, that my goal is to be able to reach many. However, I'm going to say me, and really knowing what I'm sorry son mean for me is really going out to men. When I started this project, it's scary. Let me say this. I'm a person that's with truth. It's scary because I did not know that men was in so much pain. And to hear so many men crying out in 2023, and crying not as punk, but I'm just saying crying, I'm like, oh, this has to be birth. Like, I have to keep pushing. And being a mother, when you birth something, you can die.
True.
So, yes, I don't know, I don't want to go on and
No,
on.
you're fine.
But for me, it's definitely for my sons and for the males. And to be honest, overall, to be truly, truly honest, it's for my father. Not for, not for validation, but I'm sorry to you, you're not even my son. But I'm saying sorry to you for your mother. Right? So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I do have to ask, because we are in the city of Baltimore, of course, and there's always the conversation about young men going around doing whatever crazy acts, violent acts or whatever, and whatever the media wants to demonize them as. But what would you say, being a mother in Baltimore, how does that experience sort of play a factor in all this, and hearing the things about the violence outside and all the things? How does that sort of factor into how you are as a mother and what that brings to this production?
So one thing I do want to say is I want to give a big, huge shout out to my parents. Doing this documentary made me realize that my parents taught me a lot of how to survive in the midst of our pain. They also taught me how to, even though we are doing the whole saying, keep it behind doors, but they also taught us don't hurt others, right? So my mother definitely taught me how to survive and not get caught up in the midst of it. But a couple of months ago, I buried one of a young man from Baltimore, and I buried many, 15, 16, 12. Like, I buried a lot. But the one recently hit home when his mom allowed me to be with her to pull the plug and to see his heart go down to 0, and to hear her say, I will not leave with him. I'm only leaving with a box. So that really made me wake up and realize that our city is hurt, our city is crying. And it takes for the mother, the one who birthed it all, to say, I'm sorry.
And I guess my final thing, for anyone who's watching this, for the fans who are, waiting to see this production, wanting to hear your story, wanting to hear the things that's along with I'm Sorry Son, do you have any final words to them? Anything you want to say to people watching and people online?
Listen, I'm very grateful for this project. Again, it has never been done. When God spoke it on me, I thought I was going crazy, because again, you're not used to women coming to the forefront. But however, I'm glad that it is coming together. I'm glad that we have a great team that's working hard to build this project, so everybody can get the experience and the love and the nurturing, everything that they're going to get from this project. However, to be honest, like, at the end of the day, I just really, really hope that this reaches out to many, many men, and men come out to realize that it's time to do things that has never been done, and that's really I'll tell you what. But anyway, like I said, at the end of the day, this is something that's about to go down, and it's deep, it's deep, and I just want people to know that we're gonna all get through this together, because it's definitely going to make a move.
My first and last is Tonya Dorsey, and my role is a partner, a mother, a girlfriend, a wife,
Sure.
a woman.
Yeah.
So all of the above.
For sure. And I would ask, in this telling your story and sort of how you view the entire thing, what does this production bring for people who are watching? I'm sorry, son.
It brings truth. It will bring healing. It will bring, for some, understanding. It will bring some clarifications for some. It's going to bring hurt. It will bring happiness. It will bring togetherness. It's going to bring a lot of things. It will bring a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I guess, like, through your journey, like, as a mother, what are, I guess, some inspirations that you're bringing to this production that give you some of those feelings, some of those, like, happiness, that pain, the understanding? What are some of those things that you're bringing to this that we'll see later?
Actually, after Danina kind of, brought it to my attention, and we started it. Once we started filming is what really made me go back and reflect on a lot of things that me having trauma from myself within my home with my mom and my dad. It started bringing me into my healing process. And with my son, it started making me come together with my son and being able to get some healing within my son as well. So this has helped me just as much as we all are trying to go out and help other women and sons. So yeah, it has really definitely changed me in the midst of filming a documentary.
Yeah, definitely. I think I hear that a lot. That's like a catharsis that happens when you're filming. You end up sort of reflecting a lot on like what you've gone through and your experiences. And I want to ask, like I did ask the previous question before, what does motherhood mean to you, and what does being a mother mean to you? And I'm sure you've gotten even more clarity for that going through this process too.
Oh yes.
Reflecting. So from your words, what does like motherhood mean to you?
It means, as Nina said, love, understanding, healing, hurtful. It has a lot of meaning to motherhood because you are a reflection to that child that you brought in. So they mimic and they see what you bring to the table. So even if it's at fault sometimes, and you can go in and do some corrections and you can do some healings and y'all can come together as they grow. It's your responsibility. It should be your responsibility. You brought them into the world. So, but at the same time, motherhood it's a beautiful thing. It's an awesome thing, to be able to watch something that you birth grow into this amazing young man and young woman. So to see that some of your traumas may have affected them, it can also be, a little devastating. And sometimes we kind of don't want to claim it, but after you actually step back and think of it, you got to go back and you got to fix your wrong. I always say that would be for me. I have to go back and fix my wrong. Sometimes you can't fix it, but you can, y'all can come to some understanding. You can, like she said, at least be able to say you're sorry. Acknowledge it. and hope for acceptance of it.
How does being a mother in the city of Baltimore, with all of that sort of surrounding you, what does that mean in terms of how you view motherhood?
That's deep, because Baltimore has, you can see within my years of coming along, that has changed drastically, and it's sad. One of my friends recently lost her son, her only son, and her pain is just, you can feel her pain, and she lost her son within the streets, and it's so sad, and she can't even come out of it. She is going through what no one could ever imagine. And I feel like, like I said, it might be, I'm never going to say it's too late, but, it does start from home. And sometimes you would think, some people say, well, it's already done, it's well done, it's over and done with, there's nothing you can do about that. But you never know what that conversation that you can sit there with your sons, your children, period, that could change things drastically. Even with social media, has an impact on. So as within being in motherhood, it's the decisions that you make for your children that try to, make things a little better for them, as they grow older. But Baltimore needs help, like they really do, and it is some accountability that has to be taken, and some of that accountability falls on us women as mothers, regardless to the age. It's still accountability, and it has to start somewhere. So that conversation, that much needed, that you didn't want to have conversation, is needed. And I feel like we bring that to the table. When some see what we have brought, it will have them to think about some things as well. And it may change, it may not, but I'm wishing the best for Baltimore, seriously.
100%. And I hope everyone watches this and they can sort of see through you guys' stories, some things they can learn, some things they can take away.
My son stepped away. He didn't. I was grateful. I'm gonna just say I was really grateful. He stepped away and he moved on to find, a career elsewhere than Baltimore. So he didn't fall in within all of the trauma and the dramas and everything else that's going on within Baltimore streets. But some can't get out. So, like I said, it starts from home.
Sure. And if you were, I guess, you mentioned like across ages, younger, older, it doesn't matter. Being a mother sort of comes with these sets of responsibilities. If you could talk to, through the lens, to a young mother right now, say someone early 20s, probably 19, let's say, and just had a child, had a son.
Wow.
And what would you give to her that she could take from this experience, and what can she expect to see in this production?
She can take whatever she can get from it, right?
Yeah,
I would say to reach out, because at 19, you still don't know. At 25, you still don't know. I'm 55 and I still don't know. But it's, I would say that accountability, and she has to be mindful of some of the decisions that she makes. And a lot of people do not like to bring up therapy. So if you are going through some traumas, therapy is a good way to go. And always be communicative with your son, if it's her son, But 19, you're still a child, so you're still learning. So always be open to to be able to get that advice from someone that's willing to give you that advice. Keep your eyes open, not closed.
100%. I mean, like I mentioned question for every interview I have to ask. If you have any final words, any final, things to say to people watching, or what can they expect from the production? Any final words to a fan that might be watching?
All I can say is it's going to be phenomenal. So just be prepared. Some of the men wasn't prepared. They will be prepared. Just be prepared. And I just want to thank Majestic Behavior, my partner. So, just look out for the best. Be doing some good, bringing some good vibes to the table. I mean, they might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. So